Hi, this is Synthchaser from Synthchaser.com. Today I'm going to show you how to change the push button switches on the Roland TB-303. The push button switches on the TB-303 and many other vintage synthesizers become unreliable over time. You have to push them hard to get them to work. Sometimes they don't work at all. Sometimes they double trigger. And the best solution for that is simply to replace the push button switches inside the unit. So let's go ahead and open this up. To get inside, I turn the unit upside down and I'm going to remove 7 screws from the bottom of the unit. Now I will separate the two halves of the unit and fold this down like such. It looks like this one's had some modifications done to it, but hopefully that doesn't get in our way. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the battery holder. There's 2 screws here. And we can lift this up and take it out of our way. And next we'll turn the circuit board over. Oh yeah, that's going to be a problem. Looks like we've have some additional jacks added here. And we can't flip the board this way. So we're going to have to desolder the battery terminals so we can flip the circuit board the other way. So with those battery wires disconnected, we should be able to flip the circuit board like such. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the switch caps off. One of them you can see already came off as we took the cover off. It's easier to pull them off now because some of them may be stuck on there. It's easier to pull them off while the switches are soldered into the board. But do take care that you don't mangle any of the components. So you can see that took a little bit of effort, and some of them were stuck really badly and I had to wiggle them to get them free. You don't want to use any kind of pliers or anything like that because you'll potentially damage the push button cap. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to free this circuit board from the little stack. There are 3 standoffs here, and with some pliers we can just give them a little pinch to free them. And now the circuit board will lift up to give us access to the solder joints for the switches. Now with as little heat as possible, you'll want to desolder the 4 pins for each of the tact switches. So after desoldering 96 pins, 4 pins on each of the switches, for the 24 switches, you should just be able to lift the old switches out and discard them if your fingers aren't as fat as mine and you can grab onto them. So now I'll install the new switches. The new switches are a sealed switch. The original switches are unsealed. And these sealed switches are supposed to have 10 times the lifespan of the original unsealed switches. You can get these on my website, synthchaser.com. So we'll just push them into the little holes. And now they're ready to be soldered into place. With our switches soldered, we can now snap the circuit board back into the standoffs. And we can put the switch caps on. Now I'll return it to its housing. That's easier said than done with these modifications. I'll reinstall the battery holder. And in this case, because I had to desolder the wires to separate the halves, I'm going to clean some of the old solder off of these battery terminals so I can apply some new solder and don't wind up with a cold solder joint. That was a crazy amount of solder that was there. By removing that old solder, I'm able to get both a good mechanical connection and a good electrical connection. So now we'll close up the two halves, and we'll replace the screws that we removed in the beginning. And that's all there is to it, and you can hear the results. No more double triggering buttons, no more difficult to press buttons. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Dirty push button switches are just a pain in the butt when you're using an instrument, and it's pretty easy to change them yourself. If it's something you're comfortable doing, I've got the parts on my website. If it's something you're not comfortable doing, of course you can send it to me and I'll take care of it. This has been Synthchaser from synthchaser.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.